Usually, when we talk about staying hydrated, there is this immediate visual that comes to mind, right?
Well, yeah, the giant metal jug.
Exactly. Carrying around a massive, brightly colored half-gallon metal jug. I mean, you see them absolutely everywhere now.
You really do.
They look like they belong on this, like, grueling backcountry camping expedition, but they're just sitting on a desk in an air-conditioned office.
Right, yeah. There's almost a status symbol at this point.
It is. We have built this entire culture around tracking exactly how many ounces of liquid we can physically chug by noon. But, if you look closely at the source material we have today, the research on human biology and nutrition, this modern obsession with chugging water completely upends how our bodies actually prefer to stay hydrated.
It really does. I mean, we've totally missed the mark.
Yeah. So today's mission for you listening is about a secret nutritional and cellular hydration powerhouse, one that fundamentally challenges that whole metal jug lifestyle. And it's probably sitting in your crisper drawer right now.
Yep.
We were talking about the humble cucumber.
The cucumber, yeah.
Yeah.
Which is so entirely overlooked in our modern rush to drink just, liquid volume. We have engineered this collective anxiety around constantly sipping plain water.
Oh, completely. It's like a full-time job for some people.
It really is. And in doing that, we're completely ignoring a major component of how human beings actually evolved to maintain fluid balance. The cucumber has basically been reduced to a crunchy sandwich topping.
Or like that fancy accessory floating sadly in a glass dispenser at a hotel spa.
Exactly, the sad spa water.
Mm.
But if we look at the cellular science in our sources, this everyday vegetable is actually a highly evolved bioactive delivery system. I mean, it is crucial for daily wellness.
Right. And to understand why it's so vital, we kind of have to completely redefine what hydration actually means for the human body, moving away from just liquids alone.
Yeah, that's the biggest hurdle. The baseline assumption for most people is that hydration equals liquids. You pour water into a glass, you drink it, you are hydrated.
But the research points out this staggering figure, which, this blew me away. Roughly 20% of our daily water intake naturally comes from the food we eat.
Yep, 20%.
That is a massive chunk of our biological requirement, and it just gets entirely bypassed when we only focus on liquid volume.
Right, it's a physiological baseline that we have just conditioned ourselves to ignore. I mean, we treat eating and drinking as two totally isolated actions.
Like they have nothing to do with each other.
Exactly. You eat a meal to get calories and macros, and you drink a liquid to hydrate. But on a cellular level, your body operates completely differently.
How so? Like what happens when we just chug water?
Well, when you chug a massive amount of plain water all at once, your body often it can't absorb it fast enough. So as your digestive tract slowly breaks down the food, it releases the water gradually. And that allows your body to absorb and integrate it much more efficiently.
I actually think about it like building personal wealth.
Okay, I like where this is going.
So imagine your overall cellular hydration is your bank account, right?
Mm-hmm.
Drinking a massive glass of plain water is like getting paid in cash.
Right.
It's direct, it's immediately recognizable. But if you get too much cash at once, it just kind of slips right through your fingers and is gone.
Sure.
But eating water-rich foods, that's like being compensated in stock options.
Oh, that's a great analogy.
Right. It's a totally different delivery mechanism. It requires a vesting period, which in this case is your digestion. But the wealth it builds in your body is incredibly stable because it's released into your system slowly over time.
I love that. And taking that stock option idea even further,
Right.
The vesting period is exactly what makes it so valuable.
Right, because it takes time.
Yeah. Because the water in a cucumber is locked inside plant cells, your digestive enzymes have to physically break down those cell walls. This creates a time release effect.
So it's literally slow release hydration.
Exactly. Instead of a sudden spike in blood volume that just triggers your kidneys to purge everything, you get a slow, steady, continuous drip of hydration into your bloodstream. And this goes on over several hours.
Wow.
Yeah, and this sustained absorption is what genuinely maintains your blood pressure, your cellular function, and your core temperature, all without sending you to the bathroom every 20 minutes.
Which is always the worst part of chugging water. And this brings us directly to the cucumber itself. Because if 20% of our hydration is meant to come from food, the cucumber is an absolute titan in that category.
It really is the heavyweight champion.
The sources say it's made up of roughly 95% water. That is an enormous payload.
95%. It's an incredible evolutionary feat, honestly. Botanically speaking, plants evolved to store water to survive droughts, right? And to make their fruits appealing to animals for seed dispersal. When you look at a cucumber, you are basically looking at a structurally sound column of water.
A column of water.
Yeah, it's 95% pure H2O, but it's held in a solid state by this highly complex microscopic scaffolding made of plant fibers.
That's wild to think about.
It is. And that's exactly why munching on cucumber slices after a grueling workout or, when you're just sitting out in the summer sun, it operates as both a hydrating snack and a refreshing beverage simultaneously.
You're literally chewing your drink.
You really are.
But, okay, we'll push back playfully on this for a second. If a cucumber is 95% water, should we even be categorizing it as a food?
What do you mean?
Well, at that ratio, it feels like it's just a vessel. Is it essentially just, chewy water?
Chewy water? Okay, well, calling it chewy water completely ignores the structural engineering required to hold that water in a solid state.
Fair enough.
And more importantly, it totally dismisses the biological action of the remaining 5%.
Right, the other 5%?
Yeah, yes. The water is the primary payload. But that 5% is this highly complex targeting system and delivery mechanism. It's packed with bioactive compounds, minerals, and structural fibers.
So it's not just empty scaffolding?
Not at all. Without that specific 5%, the water would not be absorbed properly by your body. That tiny fraction of mass dictates exactly how the water behaves once it actually enters your system.
Okay, let's get into the mechanics of that 5% then, starting with the electrolytes.
Yeah, let's do it.
Because the research highlights potassium and magnesium specifically. Now, most people know electrolytes are important, right? But they usually just associate them with, like, those neon-colored sports drinks.
Yeah, the blue and red stuff in the plastic bottles.
Exactly. So what's actually happening here?
Well, to understand why potassium and magnesium are so critical, you have to look at how a cell actually absorbs water. Water doesn't just passively float into your cells because it wants to. It actually has to be pulled in.
Wait, really? Pulled in?
Yes. Every single cell in your body operates something called the sodium-potassium pump.
The sodium-potassium pump. Got it.
Right. It's an active transport mechanism on the cell membrane that pumps sodium out of the cell and pulls potassium in. And by constantly moving these electrically charged ions back and forth, the cell creates an osmotic gradient.
Basically generating a charge.
Exactly. It generates an electrical charge that physically drags water molecules through the cell membrane and traps them inside.
So if you are just drinking plain water, especially after you've been sweating out all your minerals, you don't actually have the biological currency, the potassium, to operate those cellular pumps.
Nope.
So the water just sort of washes around outside the cells and gets flushed out of the body.
Exactly. You could drink a gallon of pure water, but without potassium to operate that pump, you remain cellularly dehydrated. Yeah, the cucumber provides the water, but it also provides a rich source of the exact potassium required to pull that water deep into the tissues.
And magnesium was mentioned too, right?
Right, magnesium plays a huge supporting role here.
Yeah.
It's required to produce ATP, which is the cellular energy source that powers the sodium-potassium pump in the first place.
So it powers the whole operation.
Yeah. Plus, when your nervous system sends an electrical signal to your muscles telling them to contract or relax, those signals travel along pathways maintained by potassium and magnesium.
Which explains exactly why we get those vicious muscle cramps when we're dehydrated.
Oh, absolutely. The electrical signals are just misfiring because the mineral pathways are depleted.
It's kind of like a rock concert.
A rock concert? Okay, how so?
Think about it. The water content, that 95% payload, is the flashy lead singer, right? Getting all the attention, soaking up the spotlight.
Right, the big star.
Yeah. But the potassium and magnesium, they're the quiet roadies backstage. They're the ones physically plugging in the electrical cables, ensuring the amplifiers have power, and maintaining the structural integrity of the stage.
That is spot on.
Because without them operating those cellular pumps, the lead singer is basically just standing in the dark with no microphone. Nothing happens.
Exactly. The show just cannot go on without the infrastructure. And the wild part is, the cucumber's infrastructure support extends far beyond just muscle contractions and hydration.
What else does it do?
Well, that exact same 5% of mass contains compounds crucial for the physical architecture of the body itself. I was talking about vitamin K and a trace mineral called silica.
Silica. Silica is rarely brought up in everyday diet conversations. We hear constantly about calcium, iron, and vitamin C, but silica just seems completely off the radar.
It is massively underappreciated. I mean, silica, which is also known as silicon dioxide, It acts as biological rebar for your body's connective tissues.
Biological rebar. I like the sound of that.
Yeah, so to understand how it works, look at collagen. People spend fortunes on collagen supplements to keep their skin elastic and their joints healthy, right?
Oh, yeah. It's a huge industry.
Right. Well, collagen proteins form these long, twisting fibers, but the loose fibers need to be locked together to actually maintain their strength. Silica facilitates the chemical cross-linking of those collagen fibers.
It glues them together.
Exactly. It binds them together, providing tensile strength and elasticity to your skin, your tendons, your ligaments, even your blood vessels. And when silica levels drop, those crosslinks break down, leading to, sagging skin and stiff joints.
And because a cucumber is structurally relying on silica to keep its own plant cell walls rigid and crisp, which I guess is what gives it that signature crunch,
Yep, that's the silica.
when we eat it, we are absorbing that exact same biological rebar to maintain our own structural integrity.
Precisely. You're absorbing the plant's structural engineering, and working right alongside the silica is vitamin K.
Right, which you mentioned is for bones.
Yes. Vitamin K is essential for bone metabolism. Most people think calcium is all you need for strong bones, but calcium is basically useless if it doesn't know where to go.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah. Vitamin K activates a protein called osteocalcin, which acts like a biological magnet. It pulls calcium out of the bloodstream and binds it directly into the bone matrix.
Wow. So within this seemingly insignificant 5% of a cucumber, you have this entire system maintaining fluid balance, preventing electrical misfires in your muscles, cross-linking your skin's collagen, and calcifying your skeleton.
All in one crunch.
It is wild that all of this is happening invisibly while you just, eat a simple salad ingredient.
I know, it's pretty amazing.
And I'd imagine all of these structural systems, the muscles, the bones, the connective tissue, they require a deeply efficient internal processing system to actually distribute those nutrients in the first place.
They absolutely do.
Which leads right into another major area the research focuses on, the internal plumbing, specifically the digestive tract and gut health.
Yes. The cucumber is honestly a masterclass in digestive regulation, and it comes down to a very specific combination. It's high water volume paired with soluble fiber.
Soluble fiber, how is that different from, normal fiber?
Well, soluble fiber acts very differently than the roughage you might find in, say, a stalk of celery. When soluble fiber interacts with water, it chemically binds with it to form a highly viscous, gel-like substance right in your digestive tract.
Like a gel.
Yeah. And this gel does a few critical things. First, it slows down digestion, which prevents those sharp spikes in blood sugar. Second, it adds soft bulk to your stool, which stimulates peristalsis.
Peristalsis, that's the wave-like muscle contractions, right?
Exactly, the contractions that keep food moving through your intestines.
But the danger of soluble fiber is that if you take it in isolation, say, as a dry powder supplement, without drinking enough water, it can actually act like biological cement, right?
Oh yeah, it can cause major problems.
It absorbs whatever ambient moisture is in your gut and creates severe digestive backup. So the brilliance of the cucumber is that it delivers the fiber and the exact stoichiometric ratio of water required to process it simultaneously.
Yes.
It's like a natural water slide for the digestive tract.
A water slide.
Yeah, think about it. The soluble fiber provides the physical structure of the slide, and the 95% water payload provides the flow, ensuring that everything moves through the internal plumbing smoothly and without friction.
The water slide concept captures the mechanics perfectly, really. It is that simultaneous delivery that makes whole food biology so superior to just taking isolated supplements.
Right.
But beyond just keeping the plumbing moving, the research points to a much more complex biochemical interaction happening in the gut, and it involves specific phytonutrients called cucurbitacins.
Cucurbitacins. Wait, those are the compounds that occasionally give cucumbers that sharp, slightly bitter taste right near the skin, correct?
Yes, exactly. Botanically, cucurbitacins are defensive compounds. The plant produces them to deter herbivores from eating it.
Like a natural bug repellent.
Right. But in human biology, researchers have discovered that these exact same compounds exhibit powerful pharmacological effects, particularly regarding inflammation.
Inflammation.
Yeah, inflammation is an immune response, and chronic inflammation is the root cause of systemic issues ranging from irritable bowel syndrome to severe joint pain.
So how do cucurbitacins actually mitigate that? Because, anti-inflammatory is a buzzword that gets thrown around on every wellness blog, but the actual mechanics of how a plant stops inflammation are rarely explained.
Yeah, it gets thrown around a lot. but chemically it comes down to enzyme inhibition.
Okay.
When your body experiences stress or injury, it produces pro-inflammatory enzymes, specifically one called the KOX2 enzyme.
KOX2.
Right. This enzyme signals your immune system to flood the area with inflammatory cells, causing swelling and heat. Now, pharmaceutical painkillers like ibuprofen work entirely by blocking that KOX2 enzyme.
Oh, I have no idea.
Yeah. And cucurbitacins operate on a very similar biochemical pathway. They have been shown in laboratory settings to inhibit the signaling of these exact pro-inflammatory enzymes.
Wow.
So as this water-rich, fiber-packed gel moves through your digestive tract, it isn't just passively hydrating you, it is actively bathing your gut lining in compounds that chemically suppress inflammatory flare-ups at the molecular level.
Which completely shatters the illusion that a cucumber is just a passive vessel for water.
Oh, completely.
We are looking at a highly complex biological matrix that actively hydrates cells, balances electrical gradients, builds collagen, regulates digestive transit, and molecularly suppresses inflammation.
It really does it all.
Which honestly makes our collective behavior regarding hydration look entirely irrational, especially when we look at how we try to solve the mid-afternoon slump.
Yes. The 3 o'clock slump. It's a perfect example. You hit that wall in the afternoon, right? You're sluggish, you have a dull headache, your brain feels foggy.
Yep, the classic crash.
Right. And these are all classic signs of mild cellular dehydration and electrolyte depletion.
And the immediate reflex for millions of people is to walk to a vending machine and buy a brightly colored, commercially engineered sports drink.
Sadly, yes.
I mean, we have been aggressively marketed to believe that neon liquids in plastic bottles are the pinnacle of hydration technology.
We really have.
Yeah.
But if we break down the biology of what actually happens when you drink one of those commercial beverages, it is often totally counterproductive.
Really? How so?
Most commercial sports drinks are hypertonic, meaning they have a higher concentration of sugars and salts than your own bodily fluids.
Okay.
So when you dump a hypertonic solution into your stomach, your body actually has to pull water out of your bloodstream and into your gut just to dilute the massive influx of refined sugar before it can even be absorbed.
Wait, really? So you drink it to get hydrated, but it temporarily dehydrates your cellular tissue just to process the syrup?
Yes, exactly.
Oh, wow. That explains why you often feel that heavy sloshing sensation in your stomach after chugging one.
Precisely. You get a rapid spike in blood glucose, followed by a massive insulin release, which inevitably leads to a harsh sugar crash an hour later. You are basically trading long-term cellular hydration for a short-term synthetic energy spike.
Not to mention the laundry list of artificial dyes and chemical preservatives.
Whoa, don't even get me started on those.
Well, the research we are looking at offers a shockingly simple, real-world alternative for you, something that perfectly mimics the intended biological purpose of a sports drink, but uses whole food mechanics instead.
It does.
It details this specific elemental preparation. Take a crisp cucumber, slice it up, add a pinch of sea salt, and squeeze fresh lemon juice over it. That is it.
It sounds deceptively simple, doesn't it? Almost too basic to be a performance hack.
Yeah.
But if you analyze the biochemistry of that specific combination, you are creating an optimal hydration matrix.
Yeah.
The cucumber provides the 95% water payload, trapped in the slow-release soluble fiber we discussed.
Right.
It also provides the baseline potassium and magnesium to operate the cellular pumps.
And then you add the sea salt.
Right. The sea salt introduces sodium chloride. Sodium is the primary electrolyte you lose through sweat. So by adding it to the potassium-rich cucumber, you are instantly balancing the sodium-potassium pump.
You're providing the exact electrical currency your cells need to pull the water in.
Exactly.
And the lemon juice isn't just for flavor, is it?
Not at all. The lemon juice provides a concentrated hit of vitamin C and citric acid. And vitamin C chemically enhances the bioavailability of minerals.
Meaning it helps you absorb them better?
Yes, it helps your gut absorb the silica, magnesium, and potassium much more efficiently than they would be absorbed on their own.
The irony here is just massive. I mean, we willingly spend significant amounts of money on artificially flavored, aggressively marketed plastic bottles because they boast about having electrolytes.
Right, it's all branding.
We buy into the lifestyle branding. But a sliced cucumber with sea salt and lemon juice functionally outperforms the synthetic drink on a cellular level.
It really does.
It provides the exact same hydration and electrolyte profile, but it delivers it through a time-released cellular matrix without the refined sugar crash, while simultaneously feeding your gut microbiome with soluble fiber and cross-linking your skin's collagen with silica.
It's incredible.
But you cannot patent that, so no one markets it.
No, they don't. We consistently confuse convenience and marketing with actual biological efficiency. Your body evolved over millions of years to recognize, break down, and extract nutrients from complex plant structures.
It knows what to do with food.
Right. It knows exactly how to process the synergistic combination of cucumber, salt, and lemon. It extracts the water slowly, utilizes the sodium and potassium to balance fluid levels, and uses the cucurbitacins to calm the digestive tract.
It's brilliant.
It is a profound shift in how you can approach your daily wellness, moving away from tracking synthetic liquid intake toward truly nourishing your cells.
Absolutely. So just to synthesize everything we have unpacked today, the core paradigm shift is realizing that hydration is not just about liquid volume. 20% of your daily water requirement is biologically designed to come from your food, utilizing the slow-release mechanics of digestion. And the cucumber is the ultimate vehicle for this.
It really is.
Its 95% water payload is held together by a 5% biological matrix that performs heavy systemic lifting. It delivers potassium and magnesium to power your cellular pumps,
Yep.
vitamin K and silica to calcify your bones and cross-link your connective tissues, and soluble fiber and cucurbitacins to regulate digestion and suppress inflammatory enzymes.
Quite the resume.
It really is. It does all of this in one crisp package, completely rendering the neon sports drinks obsolete.
It's a remarkable piece of biological engineering that we have just entirely taken for granted. When you understand the cellular mechanics at play, it fundamentally changes how you look at the produce aisle.
It certainly changes how I'm going to look at my afternoon snack. Thank you for diving into the mechanics of this with us today.
My pleasure.
But before we wrap up this deep dive, there is one final thought worth considering for you listening. If 20% of our daily hydration is meant to come from our food, and a seemingly basic cucumber with a little sea salt and lemon can biologically outperform a commercially engineered sports beverage, how many other incredibly powerful bioactive combinations are currently sitting untouched in our crisper drawers, completely disguised as boring salad ingredients? Until next time, stay curious.